Hello, everybody. Dorothy here. Thank you for joining me. We're going to talk about the astrology for the last 3 days of July. All right. So the 29th, 30th, and 31st. So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what's going on this weekend as we're coming towards this well-popularized aspect of Mars conjunct North Node, conjunct Uranus. Now, the North Node and Uranus are already in that conjunction. They've been in that conjunction for a little while already. And so we're already feeling and seeing and being encouraged, pushed, if you will, to really define what it is that you value the most. Looking at your finances, that's Taurus, or looking at the things that you own, that's also Taurus. What helps you to feel safe and secure? However, we're also creating with that South Node in Scorpio. We're also looking at, what are we evolving from? What are we releasing and letting go? And I know we're in the new moon phase right now. We're going to talk about that in a sec, but it's still the energy of these lunar nodes and this conjunction that's coming up on Monday is really applying to us and asking us to understand and design in our own world, if you will. What are we being told to let go of, being shown to let go of? Some of us are being forced to move, to let go, so we can create space for what's next. And it feels crappy to some people, and other people are just like, yeah, I'm ready for this. So it always will depend on your own life circumstances. All right, so we're going to do that. Now, when we're done with the astrology, I'm going to talk more in just a second. I always like to I forgot to take the lid off of this, the Astro dice. We're going to use them. Yep, I love these guys. And then we're going to do a card. So I'm going to share my screen with you for those astrologers and non-astrologers. Just listen in. The astrologers can get a little lesson. And those of you who don't know astrology, just listen into what the English words I'm saying. And don't be overly concerned about any of the rest. Okay. So here we are. This is Friday morning. I am recording this Friday morning, or PS, from August 3rd to, I don't know, the 15th or something. I'm going to be off and on. So trying to take some time off. So I might not answer emails or respond as quickly as I usually do, because I want to unplug a little bit here and there. So I have to record quite a few of these ahead of time. But I love knowing what's happening when I get right in the energy. That's why I don't like to do things too far ahead. I want us to be in that energy, what's current. So when we already have people posting stuff about the full moon, which is 2 weeks away. And it's just like, I really want us to stay in what's present right now. And that's why I like to do these. It's not the popular thing to do, but it's what I like to do. We're going to talk about just the energy here for all of us. And I already started off with, this is the conjunction of Mars, North Node, and Uranus. That's what it looks like here. And look in the center of this wheel. You can see there's this massive square. Well, this is actually 4 squares. Watch my mouse. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 oppositions. A few more than that even. And so that's called a grand cross. And it is a fixed grand cross because Taurus is fixed, Leo is fixed, Scorpio is fixed, Aquarius is fixed. So what this represents, and this is Friday, and we're going to be feeling this throughout the weekend because the moon's involved right now, and Mercury is involved as well. We already had the Mercury squaring Mars and squaring Uranus a couple days ago. That video is in here too. I do a video about every 2 days, so you can go check that out. The new moon forecast is attached to the end of this as well, so you can check that out, because we are still in the new moon phase. We're going to be in the new moon phase for 2 more days. So that gives us that opportunity to continue to create and manifest. However, like I opened with, we have South Node in Scorpio, the moon squaring all of this. And when is that exact aspect? Let me grab that. The exact aspect between the moon squaring Mars. This is Eastern Daylight Time, so adjust for your own time zone. So around 11:38 a.m. today. Today is the 29th. And then the moon will square Uranus at 3:48 p.m. Eastern Time. So you have this opportunity to really focus in on what I love, what I value, what am I passionate about. this big grand cross that's fixed means that it could take a lot of adjustments. You know, for example, I'm thinking of a big event I usually go to. I think I've retired from this big camping event. However, it begins today, July 29th. And it's, of course, like all events, it's the first one in 2 years since 2019. Thousands of people show up. There's a lot of different rules, regulations, and protocols for this big medieval event that people have to get used to. So there's going to be some snafus. This is just going to be a day where people are going to have to be incredibly patient, take their time, be prepared as you can, and just have that patience that you need. And then once you can get through the gate and you can just start to, and at your own pace, get things set up however you need to. And that applies to all of us. So that's what Friday the 29th is like. If you run into traffic, if you run into, roadblocks, whatever is stopping you, just practice mindfulness and be present and patience. That's the only way we're going to get through. That is I don't want it to sound so dire, but it's the best way to get through situations, because why escalate situations when it's not necessary? All right. So maybe it is necessary for you. It's not for me. I'm not looking for that. And I hope you have a way that you can process that too. Now, another thing that I talked about in the opening was, again, that Scorpio South Node. And look at it's hanging out all by itself. There is nothing supporting that, which means letting go and releasing and letting go can be rather difficult. It creates a lot of difficulties because it's not what we want. Sometimes we just don't want to let go of things that we know we should let go of. And I'm doing that myself personally, creating space. So I hope you are too. Now, we do have some trine aspects in here. So let me get to the next chart. I'm going to move on. All right. See, geez, we just jumped right from Friday to Sunday. I think I'm actually going to animate this one, see if it will let me. Yes, it does. And let's just move to the next day. This is SolarFire software. If you're interested in it for PCs, let me know. I have a discount code. It's NH Astro. But if you're interested, let me know. I'll save you $55. Here's tomorrow. Here is Saturday, July 30th. The aspects for the 30th. I'm going to grab this. All kinds of notes here. Excuse me a second. So the aspects on the 30th, the main thing that we have going on here, it's of course, it's in the middle of the night, but on the 30th into the 31st is Mercury opposite Saturn. And I mean, that happens at 2 a.m. But we're going to look at what else is going on here, because I do love the fact that throughout Saturday, we still have the 30th. Look at this fixed cross is still here. And we're still engaged. So there is that. However, we do have as an applying aspect. Again, all of these guys are coming together. I could probably use a different color here. And let me grab purple. We have the sun making an applying aspect to Jupiter. Yay. That is fantastic. That happens at 6 p.m. on Sunday, the 31st. But I want you to remember throughout Saturday, throughout Friday, the 29th, Saturday, the 30th, all of this sun is making that applying aspect to Jupiter. In Jupiter, yes, is retrograde now in the sign of Aries. This is a fire trine, not a grand trine, but Leo fire, Aries fire. This is just helpful in expansion when it's the same element, which a trine is almost always the same element. Sometimes there are out of sign aspects, but this is almost always the same element. We end up here with, feeling wonderful, feeling good. So again, why I say it's like, if you can stay in the present moment, move through the roadblocks that show up, and, you can be amazingly surprised at what you can accomplish in this new moon phase. And after we get over any of the hurdles that are there, so watch that for yourself and see if you can just be aware of that, because we do all have choices as to what is, excuse me, what's happening for us and how we're handling what's going on in our lives and in our environment. We all handle things differently. So there is that. Now we also have here, this is when Mercury, it's 2 a.m. on Sunday. So we're again feeling this all of Friday and Saturday. There is Mercury opposite Saturn. Now, Mercury in Leo can be quite fiery and dynamic. Saturn in Aquarius is looking for to breaking down the old rules and being a bit more independent, kind of recreating boundaries still. It is retrograde. There's a lot of retrograde energy present at this point in time. Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, and now Jupiter, Chiron. The nodes, they go retrograde regularly. So we have this opportunity on Sunday, Friday, Saturday, and again, this peaks early Sunday morning. So we'll still feel it as a separating aspect throughout the day on Sunday. So communicate where you need to. This is, and again, if we just go back to the other charts, we can still see, I know they move around. Here it is. Oh, that's Jupiter trine. That's later in the day. Hold on. There we go. Here's just today, we can still see that Saturn and Mercury are still in an opposition. It's a separate, I mean, it's an applying aspect by 3 degrees. So it's going on for quite some time. All right. Quite some time. So I want you just to pay attention to that, communicate what you need to communicate, and, you know, let other things go that you need to let go of. Okay, Chiron and the South Node are in a quincunx, which is a really difficult aspect. So there's a lot of healing, a lot of things coming to the surface that, excuse me, excuse me, needs some healing. All right. Okay. Here's the exact aspect of Jupiter, the Sun Jupiter trine. There it is right there. They're both at 8 degrees and 42 minutes of their respective signs. Yes, Jupiter retrograde. So, and it's not moving. It really doesn't move for a little while. It's like Jupiter going stationary, which it went stationary retrograde on the new moon on the 28th. It's like stopping a train. You know, it really takes a long time for that planet to move from our perspective. So it takes some time. So it sits still for quite a few days. So you might have one thing that's just abundant, 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 because that's Jupiter as it's sitting still. So let's see, how long does it stay at 8 degrees? Because that's just one whole degree. So 8 degrees, it started on July 8th. It went retrograde on the new moon, and it won't move retrograde back into 7 degrees until August, looks like about the 18th, August 18th. So July 8th to August 18th. So that's like 6 weeks it stays at 8 degrees. So yeah, whatever you got at 8 degrees, man, expanding, and now it's going to contract some. All right, so that's the Sun trine Jupiter, Sunday evening. All right, and here is the infamous aspect for Monday, August 1st. I'll probably do another video before this, but I'm not positive, so let's get it going anyways. Here they are, Uranus and Mars and Uranus make that conjunction. Every 2 years they make a conjunction like this. But the reason it's so powerful right now is because the lunar north node is there. And, you know, when we have eclipses, especially the November 8th eclipse, is just going to be the north node and Uranus and the lunar eclipse. So there's just going to be a lot going on. So this area, it'll be at 16 Taurus. So it's all within range. Find this in your chart. I just want you to know that this is where you just, again, this is where we can be creative. We can be self-expressive. We're really shifting our values. I mean, 18 degrees of Taurus, it's my rising sign. It's my rising degree. It's 18 Taurus. Squares my Uranus, which is at 1752 Leo. So I have this, I have this square and all of these guys right on my ascendant. I'm here. I'm here. You know, I'm remaining open and flexible, and I have done the Scorpio stuff. And if I need to do more, I will, which means I have released a lot of things. I'm letting a lot of things go that so I'm open and I have space for the other things that need to be created, which is like why I'm taking about 2 weeks off. I'm still going to be here. I'm really not off, but I'm taking 2 weeks away from all my regular stuff, basically just client work, just moving everybody to the end of August, the last 2 weeks of August, just so I have room to create some new things. going to be part of a big summit in early September, and I have a lot to get ready for that. So just different things, and so I'm looking because it's on my ascendant. So I'm just making new things, new thoughts, new processes, new ideas. And I want you to do the same, no matter where it is in your chart. No matter where it is in your chart, you have an opportunity to create a lot of new things for yourself. So I want you to do that. Be open. Don't fall into the trap of fear. We can be afraid. I mean, there are many things to be afraid of, and that's absolutely valid feelings, but don't make decisions out of fear, and don't be frozen in fear. And again, I know everybody has their own stuff, and there's some pretty hard things going on for a lot of people. There's grief, there's loss, there's illness, there's homelessness. I mean, it hits home, and it's close to home, a lot of different things. So do what you can, where you can. And I'm understanding that, what do we got here? You got Mars. All right. So rolling the dice, if you don't know, Astro dice, one die is the signs, the planets, the houses. So we just get to make a sentence. If you're a budding astrologer, I can't recommend these enough. You don't have to get these in the tin because these are stupid money now. They used to be like $20, but now they sell for like 50. It's stupid. You don't have to do that, but you can just get the dice separate. I just bought some. These are the ones that came in the tin. I've had them for about 10 years. All wore out. So I bought some new ones that have the numbers on it. Ooh, just easier to read. There we go. I'm fumbling. All right, let's go. Mars in Leo in the 7th house is what I rolled. So another extra message from spirit, if you will, or to answer a question you might have had that you were thinking of. And if you're watching this recording, you can hit pause before I start talking about what it is if you have a question. Okay, this is what it is. Mars in Leo in the 7th house. This is like, get out there. Mars is taking action. Leo is, what am I passionate about? I want to have fun. 7th house is partnerships and relationships. So this could be the green light for somebody to finally, somebody's, it is plural, to finally engage in a very passionate relationship. Go for it. This could also be that you and a partner find a way to, or are engaging in something that you're very passionate about, something very creative, right? A lot of fun, creative, fiery energy, you and a partner. That is what that represents. That's a whole lot of fun. Love that. All right. So while I'm shuffling, please hit that subscribe button. Like most people, I think about 60% of the people that watch this are not subscribers. I see that in other people who are talking too, and it's pretty typical, but I would love that. And please, my website is NH Astrologer. No, it's not. That's such an old website. Oh my gosh. Look at patterns. See that? That was a habit. That is not my website anymore. If you go to there, it will bounce you to my website, which I only launched in December, so it's not that long ago. DorothyMorganastrologer.com. You can come support me there. Here on YouTube, click like, share. That's how you support me here. Make a donation, come to Patreon. We do a lot more like this on Patreon, so you can come join us there. The weekly forecast is fantastic. You get it way ahead of time, not like the day of, like this stuff. All right, I picked ancestors. So the rest of us, we need to know, when I pick the ancestor card, that tells me that, our final message is to honor them, to trust them, to know that they're with us, because I can really feel them when you stop and you think about who was before you and your ancestors who was before you. I know that's not great for everybody though. So that's not a thing for you. I think of my ancestors, and they went through a lot to be here. I was talking about them last night with somebody, and we're talking about our final arrangements. And I was like, I got a cemetery. I got a grave spot where the family bought it back in the early 1800s. My family's been in New England since the beginning of New England. So yeah, our ancestors. What does it mean to you? Because again, it isn't the same for everybody, but trust and follow your ancestors. And if your genetic ancestors isn't somebody you'd even want to connect with, then you can find some other lineage to connect with too. Or you can go practice and heal that too. Oh, there's so many things we could talk about. I want to go right now. Thank you, everybody. Blessings. Namaste.